Do you truly want to stop the war? Really, really want to stop the war? Then this video is gonna be for you. Because war, and of course the war currently in Iran, but any war on the planet, is caused by a very specific core problem. And we are going in this video to not only discuss this problem in the greatest detail, but I will also open the Akashic Records and give you a direct channel of how to solve this. And you might be thinking, how do I solve the war? Like, I didn't cause the war. That's true, but you can be of great effect in the stopping of this war and of creating peace on this planet. And I will show you how in this video. Let's immediately go to the core problem. The core problem of the war outside of reality is the war inside of our minds. If you want to stop the war outside, you have to stop the war in here. And I mean that for everyone. I mean that for me too. I need to stop my war in here. Every person on the street needs to stop their war in here. But you might be like, yeah, but if I'm all peace inside of me, that doesn't mean that the other person will all of a sudden be all peace. But that is not true. That is a thought of the ego trying to protect itself and its little war games that it's playing inside of us. And you might be thinking, I'm not warring. All the other people are warring. I'm meditating and I'm already on the spiritual path. But really, aren't you warring? I wrote down a couple of samples of war that inside of our head that might not feel like war to you now, but are definitely war patterns. And with war, I mean conflict and fighting patterns, right? Let me read them to you. Blaming for not doing enough, or blaming for wasting time, blaming yourself for wasting time, or blaming somebody else for wasting time. That can be externally, but that can also just be in your head. You might be, blaming your husband or your ex or your sister or your mother, right? And that can happen in the real world, but first and probably most of the time it happens in your mind. You see a little mental version of that person and you blame her, or it's directed to you. All of that is war pattern. Having one part wanting to move forward, one part of you wanting to move forward, wanting to excel, wanting to do more, and another part of you that just want to relax and just want to chill, and they are constantly in conflict with each other. That's a war pattern. Having a person in your mind, and every time you think about them, you get angry and you start an argument in your mind. I had that with my stepmom, and I sometimes have that with other people. I'm working definitely on making that peaceful, because that's one of the hardest things for me to make peaceful. Whenever I think of some people, I'm like, oh my God, I just cannot stand them. And they're not even in the room. They're not even in the same country as me. They're thousands of miles away, right? And I get angry out of the blue because I'm thinking of them and I'm just starting an argument with them in my mind. I'm like, wow, this is just from way back, from when I was 10 years old or 12 years old, and that is not yet fully peaceful in my mind. That's currently a war pattern. And the last one that I wrote down that you might not be thinking of as war is wanting to stop the addiction that you might be having, still continuing with it, and then shaming yourself for it, right? Maybe you want to eat less, but you still keep on eating. And then you're like, oh my God, I really don't have this under control. I'm such a bad person. Like, that's an assault. And I don't like to speak in these kind of more attack and assault and target and these kind of languages. It's not my normal thing, but when it comes to the war, I really believe we should stop. And I really believe this video has the potential to make wars stop. If if this spreads and if you really found value in it, and at the end of the video you feel transformed and you feel more peaceful inside, you may or may not send this video. Even if you don't send this video, the change in you will have an effect on others. And that has to do with the collective consciousness. We are, yes, individual minds, and we form the collective mind. It has been shown in many experiments, especially with monkeys on separated islands, that sometimes when like they were experimenting with monkeys, at one point one group of monkeys had a break. If first one monkey had a breakthrough, like let's say instead of eating the potatoes raw, they started to wash the potatoes. And then only one started to wash potatoes, and then two started to wash the potatoes, and then three, and then five, and then more and more and more. And all of a sudden, without any communication or any transfer, the other island monkeys also started washing the potatoes and started copying that behavior. That has been shown many times. You can look that up as monkey experiments. This is definitely also going on with us. Like, we are a collective human mind. If we are still warring inside of our human mind, we will still be warring outside of our human mind. But if we start to stop it and create full peace inside of our mind, we are going to affect one, affect two, affect three, and these people start to all affect more people, and surely but slowly but surely, like everyone starts to just, it's almost like lights of peace, just like contagiously spreading. Eventually, that has a tipping point. We don't have to touch the whole of humanity. We only have to touch a small group of humanity. When that tipping point is reached, the whole humanity will just start seeing it as normal. And it has happened before with other things in human race, right? Like at the moment, part of the reason war is still a thing on our earth is because we need to see it. And luckily, we can now see it instantly. Our technology allows us, for the collective consciousness that is interested in the news, I'm not part of that, but for the people that watch the news, we see that instantly. Now, the next step of seeing that is to see, oh my God, that is a reflection of our inner consciousness. So within, so without. That's a law of the universe almost, right? Like everything that is inside of us will eventually be reflected outside of us in many different ways. So if we are going to make a positive change in the world, and I'm sure if you're still watching this, that you want to make that positive change, let's find out how we do that, how we change inner war into peace. Because when we can do it, people will feel it and the whole thing will change. So I don't know how to do it, but the Akashic Records will know how to do it. And I'm going to connect to the Akashic Records of humanity. And I'm just going to plainly ask them, can you turn our war patterns, our war dynamics, our conflict patterns into peace? And let's see what comes out. Let's see what comes out. But I'm sure every time I ask a question to the Akashic Records, like so much wisdom comes out and a higher perspective comes out. So let's see. If you're with me on this journey, I invite you to just have an open mind and listen with your whole body. Yes, your ego might react to some of these things. That's part of what the ego does. That's part of your war pattern, probably. Because it tries to protect itself, it tries to protect you. But therefore, I would love to ask you, listen with your whole body to this. Listen with your, as if you have an ear all over your body, like, from head to toe. And just feel what happens in your body, and feel what happens in your heart, feel what happens in your belly. Listen with your whole body. And maybe you can check in right now how you're feeling. Just maybe take a big deep breath in. Feel how you're feeling now. And maybe also on the topic of war, or on the topic of inner war or inner conflict. Do you have any inner conflict lately? Any thoughts that keep on looping of and you becoming frustrated, angry, or guilty? And now let that go. Just connect to the moment. Take another breath and just focus on tranquility and peace. Focus on listening. Let everything drop from your body, your field. Let's just be present, because this video might change our war into inner peace. I will connect with the records right now. We'll see you in a moment, and let's see what they have to say. Dear Akashic Records, can you change our inner war patterns and inner conflict into inner peace to such a degree that other people will feel it and will change accordingly into inner peace as well? Dear powerful human being, we know you crave harmony. It has been missing in many communities, in many certain debates, conversations. On the surface level, there is a lot of worry going on in your society right now, and on a deeper level, there are more existential questions that have to do with questions about the unknown, about safety, and about if you're currently truly living the life you're meant to live. Now, because the frequency of war and conflict and violence is still normal in your collective consciousness, you have grown up in a society where this was normalized and your brain has formed accordingly. There's only a very, very small group of people that don't have that in their consciousness at all. You see little boys playing with swords and guns, and you see girls having a more emotional fight that is way more intelligent than how the boys are fighting. But there you already see at a young age this frequency at play. So the first thing we need to realize is it is okay that it is currently still in your field. The second thing we need to realize is you can change this, and you have the power to change this. In this transmission, we will give you not only a great method how to do this and how you can do this at any moment. We will also send you energetic codes and frequencies that your subconscious can use to make it even easier than ever before. So with some of the things we will share with you, you might have the feeling, oh, I already have tried that before. We would love for you to try that again, but now with these new codes in your back pocket and in your field, because they are meant to make this a lot easier. So, to have this normalized is not normal for the ultimate human being that your species is becoming. War and violence will be completely removed from your consciousness. The question is, which time? It is good to know that you have the power to change inner peace for you, and the collective has the power to change their peace for them. It can switch in a moment. But first, because we already know that you feel inside of you that peace is the answer, we also need to make sure the logical mind understands this. And it will be great to do a little imagination experience. Imagine that you can clone yourself right now into two versions, version A and version B. Now, these versions are exactly identical clones. They have 99.999% the same mind, emotions, upbringing, everything up until this moment has been the same. But there is one difference between these clones. One of these clones believes that the world and the environment is harmful, dangerous, and can possibly hurt you. The other clone believes the world is peaceful, full of harmony. Now, imagine that these two clones will take a walk in a city, and allow them just to take a walk. Now, the clone that believes the world is dangerous might immediately spot the graffiti on the street, might spot a cigarette falling from a balcony, and starts to immediately be confirmed in their belief. Because she's looking at the cigarette, all of a sudden, car comes by that she didn't see, because these electric cars are so silent these days that all of a sudden she stops, almost had an accident, and again had her confirmation that this world is a harmful place confirmed. Now the funny thing is, she didn't get harmed at all. She almost got harmed, and she was just completely focused on dangers. This is only the first 5 minutes of the walk, but you will notice and already understand how the rest of this walk will be. She will constantly be focused on the many different things that might cause dangers, and probably will attract dangerous things to her, and will be even more prone to accidents that only confirm her belief by taking that walk. Now let's switch to the other clone of you that still sits but is about to go on the same walk on the same day. This clone believes in peace, and the first thing she notices is the sun, that the sun is shining and that the clouds are forming beautiful patterns. She sees one of her neighbors smoking out of the window, and she waves and says hi, and the neighbor says hi back. She looks into the street and sees a car passing by, and this car is actually having a number plate that reminds her of something beautiful. And in that same fashion, she continues with her walk. These two clones, only by this belief in difference, have a completely different walk. And the question is, which of these clones would you rather feel like? Would you rather feel like the clone that is in peace? Or would you rather feel like the clone that feels danger everywhere? Now, your rationality might respond to us saying, yes, but what if we believe in all peace and we still get hit by a car or whatever it is, whatever accident may happen that you can throw at us logically? Will still say, okay, you might hit by a car either way, but which of these two would you rather feel like? Because after the accident, it's the same story. These two clones will have a very different hospital visit. These two clones will have a very different moving out of the hospital and a recovery. These two mindsets will be completely different just because one belief is different. And that's the belief in, is this a harmful universe or a peaceful universe? Now, the more you meditate, the more you will understand that this universe is completely based on peace. No question about it. And that the harm that is happening is not truly harm at all. It's actually part of an evolutionary journey that you can take in this third dimension. And your soul knew before it started to incarnate in this journey that harm and conflict and pain would be part of the energy field of the third dimension. As soon as your soul transitions to the other realm, it will immediately have that understanding again. And it will immediately remember the moment before it went into Earth. But even if you haven't meditated a long time and this is not part of your experience yet, don't worry. Because your science, yes, your science, not your gurus, not your sages, your science is saying the same thing. Reality is built on a huge amount of high frequency energy and vibration. High frequency in the emotional world is called high joy, high love, high fulfillment. Love bigger than humans can fathom. So, it really doesn't matter where this build is made from. It really matters what you believe this world is made from, and that is a choice. Yes, you can justify both of these choices mentally all you want. The question is, which does you give a better experience? We are not here to convince you to change your mind, but you have to know that this is the choice, and you have to know that you can choose peace from this moment forward. It might take a couple days to get used to this new state of being. And the old belief system might have a couple of ripples before it truly shifts in your life. But it will shift if you hold that intention in your mind and in your heart. But we would love to share an even more effective method of changing this. Because this was about a belief system. But what truly needs to shift as well, and what will even have a more powerful effect, is the energy inside of you of how you are talking to yourself and others in your mind. For example, are there frustrations, rage, and anger in your mind from certain situations or certain people? If that is the case, we need to meet that with peace. And the best way you can do that is not to have two different opinions, one peaceful and one angry, but to let peace be the embracer, the acceptor, the motherly hug when you were hurt or had a wound. The mother knows it is all right. Your knee will heal from that fall, and it's all okay. Your heart will heal from that breakup or that conflict. It's all right, and it just hugs you. It's not here to contradict what happens. It's not here to say it should not have happened, and this wound or this breakup and these feelings about it needs to move right out of my field. No, it just embraces and says, I'm very sure it will get better. That is the frequency of peace. And that is what you can infuse around the anger, around the conflict. So we would love for you to immediately put this into practice so that you can feel how this feels. Think about one of the last times you had an inner conflict with yourself. This might be you blaming you for something, or this might be you blaming somebody else for something in your mind. Bring it up and think about it. Now feel into your body, which part of your body kind of highlight or contract a little bit or react towards you thinking about this. That is the actual energy that is being stored in the body. Now just feel the energy and let the energy be there. Maybe you can even give it a form or a color, or maybe it has a material. Maybe it's solid or liquid. Maybe it is spiky or round. Just see a little bit of what this energy is formed like. And then embrace it. Create a space around it. And that space around it just says, dear energy, it's okay. I see you. It will all be all right. You don't have to worry. You don't have to protect. You don't have to fight. You don't have to reject or judge. Just breathe. It will all be all right. It is okay. You can visualize or imagine this energy completely embracing that energy in your field. And breathe. Now you might notice that the energy might shift in form and in color the longer you do this. And we invite you to do this for as long as you can. Every second you spend in this embracing state is you turning conflict into peace. Do this for a week, a couple minutes a day, and your life will change. Do this for a month, and most of the conflicts that you are currently having in your mind will be solved. And by you solving the inner conflict, your outer life starts to reflect that. You will be less angry for something that made you angry, and less pissed for something that made you pissed, and less sad for something that made you sad, just by doing this. And that will be contagious to every person you meet. And you can share with them this embracing practice. And you might even guide them through a session because you did it already so much on yourself. You can do it for somebody else and hold space for that person. Truly create a space of embrace for that person. If that is in your alignment, of course. But even just by being in your field, people will automatically feel that embracing quality inside of them. They will loosen. They will relieve. They will relax. And you had this all along in your field. Now we are, during this whole transmission, sending you some frequency and codes for your subconscious to make this easier than ever. So just instead of rejecting or judging or embracing the energy that is happening in your body, give it a hug. A hug that says, I see you and you will be alright and you can be here. That's all it takes. This way you stop your inner war. This way you become a more peaceful expression of yourself. Truly from the inside out, you will shift your reality, and the domino effect will shift the collective consciousness. And war will be a lot faster resolved than you think. So, if you are here to truly stand for peace and stop the war, this is what you can do right now, and it's free. This process has such a tremendous power. It can shift many lives and even a whole civilization. So please continue if you are currently still embracing. Allow that embrace to happen. Allow it to change. Allow it to show you things. You can even talk to these energies because they are intelligent. And allow it just with an open and curious mind to unfold inside of you while you embrace all inside of you. There is simply no function in keeping it inside of you as the rejected, angry, sad, guilty, blame or shameful state. There is no reason for you. You might feel it is more powerful sometimes to take an angry stand, but it's truly the most powerful to stand in peace. You will be naturally protected. Thank you, dear one, for taking this seriously. You wouldn't have listened this all the way to the end if there wasn't something inside of your field resonating with this frequency. And we hope to have given you the right tool to make inner peace, outer peace, and world peace. Thank you. Wow. So, thank you for watching this all the way to the end. Those were the Akashic Records of humanity and of the human mind. I never opened them together, but it was beautiful energy. And if this energy truly resonates with you, know that you can connect with this just as I'm connecting with this. So, I actually, if you're watching this at the very beginning of March, you can find a link that goes to a community that I'm building. I will open it around the second week of March, 10 March, 11 March. If you watch this, if you find this video after 11 of March of 2026, you will find a place where you can learn how to connect to the Akashic Records. I want to make this frequency available to everyone, because how awesome is it that I can come to an energy field and connect with an energy field that just gives me such a clear boom answer and has so much love inside of it and has so much respect and insight of the body and the human mind, and it's just beautiful. It helps me definitely create my peace. I can come to it with any conflict, and within minutes I have a resolution towards it, or a higher perspective. And it always comes with such a great feeling of playfulness and unconditional love. It's very beautiful. So luckily I am allowed and honored to be a teacher and a sharer of this technique. And if you want to learn it and it feels resonant with you, it is there. You can find the link in the description. It's beautiful. But even without that resonance, may this transmission have found some beautiful energy inside of you. Maybe check in with yourself again. How do you feel now compared to the beginning of that transmission? Did something change? For me, definitely things changed, but I also just channeled, which is quite an energy, quite an energy flow that runs through me. But there's definitely a lot of peace as well. So may this journey into peace be a beautiful one, and maybe indeed solve ourselves into complete, balls of light and balls of peace, that just as soon as somebody sees us or hears our voice, they're just like, ooh, oh wow, I just relaxed. Oh wow, a pain in my shoulder just left. Oh wow, these things will start happening for you. I know, because they have been happening for me. And it's like more and more magic starts happening around me, and I'm like, wow. Anyway, I'm digressing. It's late for me. I'm going to close this video. Thank you for watching this. A lot of peace wherever you are. May everyone in your family be safe, and may this be of great benefit.